Aubrey, let's talk about generation gap.
Mhm.
And do you remember anytime you were growing up that I said something like, well, when you get older, you'll understand things better?
Mhm.
Did that happen once, maybe one point
Frequently.
recently?
Oh, I said frequently.
Oh, frequently. Oh, okay. But probably recently as well. Who
Yeah.
knows? But let me ask you, do you think that the older generation is just wiser than those that come after them? Now you're
Nope.
shaking your head. What do you mean by that? And in what way? You'll have to explain what you mean.
Without getting into politics,
Okay, let's set politics aside.
things have changed so much between when you were my age and me that you just don't know what's going on anymore.
What do you mean? What do you mean
We're
that?
not
You have to
talking
explain that a little bit
politics.
more. What?
We're not talking politics,
Okay, not politics, but
but,
just
like,
other
the
examples.
economy. When you were my age, you could work part-time, go to college, and afford rent.
That is true.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Back then, you could do exactly as you said.
But the economy's changed completely. So just situations change between, when you were my age, when I'm my age, when Gen Z becomes my age, things are just gonna be completely different. So saying that the older generation is wiser, I mean, yeah, maybe on some things, but the situation changes so much
All
that
right.
that's blanket statement is false.
So a blanket statement, an overgeneralization just doesn't apply in this case.
Mm-mm.
So let's think of an example where it does apply.
Well,
Can you think of anything where the older generation certainly is wiser in this particular topic or subject?
well, you're certainly handier than me as far as like repairing stuff. Like I usually just call someone.
Okay, so
Um
maybe
mhm,
some skills,
mhm.
but what about knowledge and wisdom?
Nah,
I mean,
a
could you think
lie.
of me saying or older generation, well, when we were younger, we walked to school up ways,
Walk to school uphill both ways in this much snow.
exactly, exactly. And I think sometimes an older generation wants to sometimes impose their knowledge on the younger generation, not realizing and not having the ability to acknowledge where there are just gaps in our understanding of the world and how it functions today.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting back to, the economic things. Like I hear a lot, oh, millennials, blah, blah, blah. If they'd be able to afford a house if they didn't buy avocado toast. And which was a thing that was on the news a while back.
Wow.
It's like, well, no, I can't afford a house because they're so expensive. Because the economy is completely different.
Right. And I think that's important. Those of us in the older generation recognize that the world is changing, being open to seeing the world through the prism of a new worldview. I think we sometimes get stuck in our egocentric worldview that we can't see beyond that. And sometimes the younger people are right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Aubrey, for sharing your thoughts on wisdom and the generation gap between us at times.